4 years ago, Kaleb Cooper was paying himself 50 pence an hour on his own farm. Today, he's boarded a plane for the first time in his life. Not for a holiday, but because Amazon Prime Video is paying him to fly to Australia and front his own 4-part series, with Jeremy Clarkson nowhere on the credits. That gap, 50p an hour to solo Amazon presenter in 4 years, is one of the strangest money stories in British farming, and almost nobody's explained how it happened. If you care about how real money moves behind farming and streaming, subscribe now, because this is the clearest example we've seen. The public version says he turned up on Clarkson's farm, made people laugh, got lucky. Like it could have happened to anyone standing in the right field when the cameras arrived. Here's what actually happened. Born in Chipping Norton in 1998, no farming family, no inherited land. He started rearing hens at 13, selling 600 eggs a week by his mid-teens, racking up £200 a month in school fines for skipping lessons to run the business. The school eventually negotiated with him. He agreed to stay for his exams and went straight back to farming the week after results day. By his mid-teens, he had a registered contracting business, doing agricultural work across Oxfordshire. Not a hobby, an operation. So when Clarkson arrived at Diddley Squat, needing someone who genuinely knew the land, Kaleb was already working it. He didn't audition. He was already there. Most TV talent follows a model. The platform finds someone, builds them slowly across several series, and keeps the leverage. Because without the platform, the talent has nothing. Kaleb didn't follow that model at all. Company's House shows 3 registered companies. Kaleb Cooper Productions holds £9,860 equity but filed £666,000 profit in a single period. His contracting business adds £3,223, his holdings company another £46,000. Combined, £9,868.83, nearly doubled year over year, for a man on 50p an hour 4 years ago. None of that came from the show alone. 4 books since 2022. The World. According to Kaleb, Britain. According to Kaleb in 2023. It's a Farming Thing in 2024. And a children's title through Hachette in 2025. Every single one a Sunday Times bestseller. A publisher doesn't hand out 4 contracts to someone who's merely famous on television. They hand them out to someone whose books actually sell, one performance justifying the next. At typical hardback royalties of 10-15% on an £18 cover price, across multiple print runs of 4 titles, that's a revenue stream clearing well into 6 figures, independent of whether he ever films again. Then the tour, sold out nationwide. The final night filmed at Cheltenham's Everyman Theatre and released as a standalone special on Prime Video. Notice the order. He built the sold-out audience first, and only then did Amazon license the special. He didn't ask permission. He proved the demand, and the platform paid to catch up. Which brings us to the flight. 4 years alongside the most traveled man on British television, and Kaleb's first ever flight is a business trip. Amazon's commission testing whether his contracting business scales to Australian agriculture, a market where single stations can dwarf entire English counties, running on equipment and logistics that barely resemble anything in Oxfordshire. He's really asking one of 3 things. Does a model that works at home work there? Can he partner with existing operators? Or does he simply bring the knowledge home to do something different? In his own words, I spend most of my time with the most traveled man in the world. So I got brave and booked my first ever flight. Australia, here I come. Funny and revealing. This isn't a travel format. It's market research Amazon is footing the bill for. Whatever he finds comes home with him either way. Amazon's own head of UK originals called it the next chapter of his journey. Not a spin-off, his journey. And that comparison is worth sitting with. Clarkson took 30 years, Top Gear, the Grand Tour, decades of columns and book deals, to turn fame into an infrastructure valuable enough to underpin a farm's business. Kaleb built the equivalent in 4 years, starting at 26, from a contracting van in Oxfordshire. Amazon is now paying him twice, once as cast on the original show, again as sole presenter of his own commission. The British Farming Awards created a permanent award in his name, and he personally funds a £3,000 annual bursary at the Royal Agricultural University. Never announced, never marketed, just quietly funded for students trying to enter farming with no land and no family name, the same way he did. So here's the real question, and we want a genuine answer, not just agreement. Is Caleb Cooper the most commercially intelligent person to come out of Clarkson's farm? Not the most famous. The most intelligent about building value that survives without the show. Drop your answer below. Tell us who you think comes second. And if enough of you ask for it, that's exactly what we build next. I read every comment. See you in the next one.